Hello friends, my name is Anne. Welcome back to your yoga practice. This is an upper body strengthening and opening class. We'll be opening our shoulders up, we'll be strengthening our shoulders and our upper back. And today we're going to use props. A block, if you have one, and a strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, a belt or any other kind of strap will do. So the best way to do this practice is to have your mat facing me. So the short edge of your mat is facing your screen so that you can see me. And you'll be facing that way the whole time. But I will be changing direction so that you can get a better view of the poses and the movements we're taking together. And we will start lying on our back. So if you need to pause and go get some props, do that now. And then just come back to a restful position in Savasana on your back, on your mat. Your feet are at the front of the mat, head at the back. Go ahead and lie all the way down. And begin to take several slow breaths. You can close your eyes if you like. Let your eyelids grow heavy. Rest there in your Savasana and begin to focus on your breathing. Inhale through your nose, slowly filling up your lungs from top to bottom. And then exhale to the same slow movement, pushing the air out from your lungs, from the deep lower lungs, all the way back up through your shoulders, throat, and nose. Notice the movement of your breath. Notice your chest rise. Let your belly rise. Let it expand outward and upward as you inhale. And then contract it as you exhale, feeling your navel go towards your spine, pulling it up towards your rib cage and sternum, and releasing that air out. Continue breathing like this, focusing on the motions of your breath, inhaling and relaxing, exhaling and contracting to your midline. We start our practice with breathing so we can center ourselves on our mat, center our mind, connecting our breath with our movement, even the slow, gentle movements of our body as we lie here and breathe. And with your next inhale, take your arms long behind you, reach your fingertips toward the back of your mat, point your toes, spread your fingers wide, and then move one hand farther back than the other, swaying your body gently side to side. Beginning to get a little movement, the rib cage, sides of the body. And then stop there in the middle. Pull your right knee into your shoulder. You're still lying on the ground. Give it a pinch so that you feel a pinch in your hip flexor. Pull the knee towards your shoulder, just outside your ribs. Sway your ankle around several times in circles. Maybe feeling some little pops going on there. And then take your knee wide off the mat. Bend your knee at a right angle. Bend your ankle at a right angle. And gently push your knee and thigh down toward the ground, opening up through your inner thigh, your right hip. Now bend and straighten that leg a few times, keeping it wide, keeping it low to the ground. And then bend it back. Pull your knee in, bend the other knee so the sole of the foot is on the ground, and then wrap that knee, the top leg, the right leg over the left, and see if you can intertwine your legs by putting your foot behind your calf. If you can't do that, just push your thighs together or your shins together. Inhale your arms up over your head, and then take your right arm under your left, and we're going to wrap those two into eagle arms. Your legs are in an eagle wrap, your arms are in an eagle wrap. If you can't interlace at your wrist or fingers, just grab your shoulders. Now squeeze everything together. Inhale and stretch your fingers over your head so that you're touching the mat behind you. Come up on your big toe. Now pull everything very slowly together. Leave your shoulders and your head on the ground, and then stretch back the other way. So we're pulling everything toward the midline. Do that again. We're going to do it 4 times on each side. Here's 3. Squeeze everything together. 4. And release. Release your arms, release your legs. Stretch long again on your mat. And then bring your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Pull it in tight, give it a squeeze, and then move your foot in little circles. Left foot goes left, and then left foot goes right. There you go. Then take that knee wide out to the side. Push gently, knee goes to the floor, your ankle is flexed. Now bend and straighten. As you straighten the leg, point your toe. As you bend it back, flex your ankle, and point and flex, point and flex. Let's do that one more time, and flex. Bend the right knee, sole on the ground, knee pointed upward. Wrap the left leg over and around the top. Left arm's going to go under right this time, finding your eagle wrap arms and legs. And we're going to do those eagle stretches again. So come up on your big toe, reach back with your pinkies, and then bring your knees together. Head stays down and back. And again, feel an opening in your shoulders, in the back of your shoulders for 3 and 4. Release your arms, release your legs. Inhale, interlace your fingers above your head by your reaching straight back. Find a steeple grip with your one finger, index finger pointed, and then just rock side to side again on the ground. Pull both knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Roll side to side and back and forth. And then let your feet come to the ground. Let your knees fall to the side of the mat and your feet together. Now take your hands above your head and grab opposite shoulders. Head on the ground, so your knees are butterflied to the side. Cobbler's pose position. Push your elbows, push your shoulders and the back of your head into the ground. Try to keep your spine on the ground as much as possible, and then push your knees to the side. Just using your thigh muscles and your hip muscles to rotate your knees out externally, and using your shoulders to separate and push down. There you go. Take a couple of inhales here. And release. Pull your knees back in. Rock along your spine and come up to a comfortable seated position. Remember your straps there at the front of the mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward and grab the strap. We're going to pick it up in both hands, palms down. Lift it up high and pull on it. Pull it back by your ears and then sway over to the side. Pulling with your right arm. Pulling with your left, but leaning to the right. Try to keep both sit bones on the ground and come back up. Other side. And back up. Now get a little width in your hands by separating them farther apart, and then pull that strap behind your heads. Your arms are in a goalpost position. Go ahead and look up. Pull your shoulder blades down your back and together, feeling shoulders expand, and release and come back up. Go over to the other side, keeping the strap with a wide grip. So you're going to pull that right arm out to the side and the left one straight up. Keep your hip points and your headlights all pointed forward and come back to center and go the other way. And come back up. Inhale, look up, pull your arms back, and then slowly lean forward over your hips. Drop the strap. Bring your soles of your feet back together, coming back into that butterfly position with your legs, cobbler's pose. Put your elbows on your inner thighs, not your knees, hands on your shins. Lean forward, getting a deeper stretch through the hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lengthen your neck. Exhale, fold a little more. Now roll your head towards your feet. Let your chin come to your chest. You can release your arms. Relax them. Let your head be heavy. Shake your head yes and no a couple of times to loosen the neck. Take big inhales. Let your belly expand here. And also feel the expansion in your low back. Side to side. All right, take a big inhale. Exhale as you slowly roll up and reach your arms high. Sigh it out as your arms come down. We're going to roll over our feet and come into tabletop position. I'm going to still be facing you for this so that you can see my shoulders and arms. Now before we start the shoulder strengthening, I want to talk about the position of your arms, because in our tabletop, which is a flat back on our knees like we're doing now, or our downward dog or other arm strengthening poses, we got to have strong shoulders. So you don't ever want to be slumping like into your shoulders, one or the other. Find space between all 5 fingers, look down. Push through the base of your palm. Now imagine you're lengthening from your wrist up to your elbow. So your forearm is stretching from the wrist to the elbow, going long. Now, think of pulling your biceps, your upper arms, from your elbow up to your shoulders. Roll your triceps backward just a little bit so they feel like they're pushing toward the back of the room. Now feel those strong shoulders. You've got space between your shoulder blades. And we're going to move into our cat-cows, keeping these strong shoulders. Lower your belly and inhale. Let your belly relax. Look up. Your tailbone's going to go up. Then tuck your chin to your chest. Dome your back toward the ceiling as you exhale. Pull your navel to spine. And then go back to your cat pose. Belly down. Inhale. Arch back as an angry cat as you exhale. And do 2 more of those. Inhaling through cow and exhaling through cat. Now pause there in the center. Flatten your back. Pull your navel to your spine and lengthen your neck. Push your hips over to the right. Keep your knees in place and look over your left shoulder. Get some stretch on the outside of the right hip. Now push your hips back over your knees and go to the left side. Getting stretch on the left side of your hips. And come back to center. Take your left foot back. Point your left foot to the back of your mat and lift your right arm. Stretching long, lengthening through your spine and neck. Now bend your left knee, push your left heel toward the ceiling, and pulse it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right hand. Keep that left leg up and bent. Now we're going to come into a side balance here. Push through the left arm, left strong shoulder. You're going to balance on that right knee and take your left arm high. Bend the knee and point your toe behind you. Sort of looks like a modified side plank, but not exactly. Now extend your right arm long, stretch your left arm long. Hold and breathe. Lower your left hand, lower your left knee. Push back into child's pose as you inhale. Your hips go back to your heels and come back to your tabletop as you exhale. Now take your left arm forward and your right leg back. Lengthen and then bend the knee. Push your right heel to the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the left hand and lift the right as you stack your hips and your left foot comes back. Hold and breathe. Nasal breathing. Keeping focused. Now take your right arm above your head, straighten your right leg. Find length, find balance. Lower your left hand, lower your right knee. Push back as you inhale. Come forward as you exhale back to your plank. And then just a couple more of those cat-cows at your own pace. Take whatever movements you need here to lengthen your spine. Maybe you go back and forth a little bit. And also just to loosen up and curve that spine. And then pause. Tabletop, flat back. Tuck your toes and push up into turbo tabletop. Feel those strong shoulders expanding from your wrist all the way up. Your arms are strong, elbows are not locked. Take your right leg back and just roll over your right foot. If you need to, you can always lower that left knee. Bring the right foot back. Take the left foot behind you. Right knee is at a hover if you'd like. And we're rolling over the left toes, stretching out our calf. And bring the foot back to a hover. Strengthen your arms, push up. Head comes between your biceps and you're in your downward dog. Upside down V shape. Pedal your feet. Right, left, right, left. Continuing to open up through the back of your body. Now pause in stillness, push through your hands. Think of pulling your triceps out gently and rolling them down and back as your shoulders come up and back. Push your chest towards your thighs and you've got your good down dog. And we're going to continue to warm up our shoulders here. Roll over your toes coming forward toward plank and let your right knee come down in a hover. And go back to downward dog. Roll over, let your left knee come to a hover, and back. And we'll do that 2 more times each side. Left. Last one on the right. And on the left. And pause there in your downward dog. Look forward, step between your hands. And come into a forward fold. It's your first forward fold of the day. Think of having straight legs this time, and instead of bend, feet are hip width distance apart. And you can use a block for support here. Grab your opposite elbows, let your neck loosen up, shaking your head, and then sway side to side like a rag doll. And pause there in the middle. With the block at the low level, high level, or none at all, bend your left knee and take your right arm up high. Twisting to the side, feel a stretch through the outside of your right leg, your IT band, and the outside of your glutes. Lower your right hand down, lift the left one up. Bend your right knee and twist open, pushing that left hip out just a little bit. Lower both hands down. Find your strap. Pick it up with both wrists. Inhale at the base of your spine and then slowly roll up till you're all the way at the top and take the strap up high overhead. Pull on the strap, similar to what we did when we were on the ground. Look up, pull the strap back, tighten your glutes and lean back. Sway over to your right side, push your left hip out. Come back through center. Pulling on the strap in opposite directions, sway to the left and come back to center. Take your hands wider on the strap, pull it behind your head, bend your knees slightly, bend your back, look up. Keep pulling the strap and feel how much the shoulders engage almost every muscle. Reach up high. Take your left arm wide and the right one comes up towards your head. Pushing right hip out, come back up. Swaying to the other side with the left hip out and come back up. Now bend your knees deeply. Reach forward. Plant the strap down. Plant your hands down and step your right foot back. Take your right hand down to the mat. Lift your left hand high. Heel toe your left foot to the outside of the mat. And again, stretch that hip out wide. Strong in the right arm and shoulder. Stacking your shoulders. Lower your hand down. Bring your foot back in. And bring your right foot to meet the left. Reach down for your strap again. This time with the strap in your palms. Palms are facing up. Grab the strap. Lift up. Inhale all the way up. So your pinky fingers are toward each other, thumbs on the outside. Pull on the strap and do your sway to the right. Feel the difference in the muscles you use with this grip versus the one we used to have. Come back to center and go back. Left side and up. Now lengthen, again, keeping those pinky fingers together. And we're going to bend our elbows and bring the strap down across our chest. You can also bend your knees. Pull your elbows toward your side in a W shape. Look up, bend your back, shoulder blades down your back. And rise up. And we'll take it over to the side again, right side first this time. And up, left arm down and up. Bend your knees deeply. Push the strap out in front of you. Lower it down. Drop your hands and take your left foot back this time. Left hand goes down, right arm high. Heel toe your right foot to the side of the mat. Your back foot is on your toes, heel pressing toward the back, twisting up and open. And then lower your hand down. Take your right foot back to meet the left in a plank, and then find your downward dog. Take a moment here. Pedal your feet again. And then roll over your toes into plank. With your knees up or down, we're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way to the ground. And when you get there, push up into a cobra pose. Keep your elbows bent. Let's not go all the way the first time. Lengthen your neck, shoulders are down. Push your feet into the ground and come back down. Take your fingers, interlace them at the base of your spine. Push your fingers down towards your knees, away from your elbows, and then lift your head and shoulders up. Shoulders back, shoulder blades together and down, neck long. Hold and breathe. breathe. And go back down. Take a deep breath here. Now we're going to lift our feet and shoulders up. Still reaching back with our hands, everything up, shoulders, head. Looking down in the front of your mat to lengthen your neck. Squeeze your thighs together. And release and come down. Take your hands under your shoulders again. Push up into a full cobra. Cobra, your hips are still on the ground. Think of pushing your hips into the ground and pushing through your hands as your shoulders come away from your ears. Now tuck your toes, push through your knees and come to a knee plank. Lower your hips back down in cobra. Tuck your toes, push through your knees, come to a plank. You should feel your low core firing up here. One more time, lower your hips, cobra. Tuck your toes, push through knees, navel to spine. Now tuck your toes and go all the way up into your downward dog. There you go. Take a couple of breaths here, and we'll start our flow. Look between your hands, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, take a half lift, hands to shins or back beside you, look down, and then fold. Pick up your strap, palms down again. Rise all the way up, but with very bent knees, and you come into a chair pose. Chair pose, tailbone is pointed down, navel to spine, pull the strap back over your head, arms by your ears. Now put your weight in your right foot. Come up on your left toes and step back to your crescent lunge. Find a point to focus on. Crescent lunge, the back heel is up, front knee bent. Pull the strap back and take a back bend. Straighten your spine, lean to the right. Back through center, to the left, and back up. You've been here before with the arms. Take them in a wider grip. Pull it back behind your head. Cactusing your arms. Look up, back bend. And come back up. Take your right arm wide, left arm up. Pulling on the strap, both ways. Back through center and to the other side. And back up. Now lower your back heel in a warrior two position. Toes are pointed to the side of the mat. Take your body over the front bent leg, stretching long, and then come all the way up. And you're in a warrior two position. You can bend and straighten that leg a couple of times. Maybe feeling that in your thigh a little bit. Now stop there in your warrior two. Reverse your warrior by taking the strap back toward the straight leg. Look up at your arm. Come back to center. Take the strap behind you. Again, holding it, this time with your palms up. Push down toward the floor. Spreading your shoulders back and down. Look up. Slowly fold forward, taking your shoulder towards your right knee. Your head can be heavy here. Now lift your arms up off your hips. Stretching through our collarbone. Slowly rise up. Straighten the front leg and pivot so that you're facing the front of the mat. Your back heel is down in 45-degree angle. Now we're going to come into a pyramid pose with our hands behind us. Lift up your strap again, pulling it up. Fold forward over your leg. Straight back, looking down, only coming to your flexibility. Now release the strap into your right hand. Place it back in the front of the mat. Bend your front knee, take your right hand down and your left hand high. Scoot the back leg back. It's back in that warrior two position. with your toes pointed forward. This is a deep twist in a triangle or an extended side angle pose. Hold and breathe. You can look up at that arm if it works for your neck. And lower your left hand down. Both hands are inside the right foot. Strengthen your hands. Strong back leg. Tighten your back glute. Then pick the right foot up. Take it back. Plank and then downward dog. Take a big inhale here. Sigh it out in your downward dog. Look between your hands and hop or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply. Grab the strap again. This time, palms up. And rise up to your chair pose, but keep the strap out in front of you this time. Pulling out. Bring your shoulders back toward the back of your mat. See how I do that? Just sort of back and forth. Pull them back, tail down, sit deeper. Slowly rise up. Now with your hands above your head, pinkies together. Sit down again in your chair. Weighting the left foot this time. Come up on your right foot and step it back to your crescent. Find your balance. If your legs need to be a little farther apart, that's fine. Look up, back bend. Straighten your spine and lean to the left. Come back through center and to the right and back up. Lengthen the strap between your hands. We're coming into that W grip where the strap's in front, palms back. Hold and breathe. You got this. Almost done with the strap. Hands high. Take the left arm wide, right arm up. And back. Right arm wide. And back to center. Take the strap behind your back. Whoops, we forgot something. We're not going to do that yet. Arms back up, lower your heel. You almost forgot our reverse warrior. We want to be even on both sides. So you're in your warrior two. Back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. Front knee bent. And you can bend and straighten a couple of times here. Now pause there. Reverse your warrior. Your arms go back. Come back to center. Now we'll take it behind our back. Your palms can be up or down. I find it a lot easier to do it with them up. Push down. You may want to try a wide grip or a real narrow one. Look up, find a back bend, and then come forward. Humble warrior with your shoulder towards your knee. Let your neck be loose, head heavy, and lift the arms up high. Slowly rise back up. Straighten the front leg. Bring the back leg in. We're moving into our pyramid pose here. So stretch the strap down. Lean forward. Hamstring stretch here. Careful to only go to your depth. Lift the strap off your spine. Take the strap under your left hand, bend the left knee. Release the strap and place the left hand inside your left foot. Take your right foot back and come into this deep twist. You'll feel a pinch in that left hip flexor. You can always have a block under your left hand if that helps. Lower your right hand inside the left foot. Strong shoulders and arms, strong back thigh. Lift your left foot up to plank. Go back to downward dog. Now we're going to flow through our first chaturanga here. That's a tricep push-up, and it flows like this. Come forward into plank. We'll go slow this time, knees upward down. Find length from the back of your head down to your knees. Pull your navel to your spine, lower your elbows. Don't bend more than 90 degrees in the elbows, and pull your chest through and come into cobra. Shoulders are away from your ears. Or you can come into up dog with your hips up and you're pushing through the tops of your feet. Tuck your toes, pull back to plank, and go to downward dog. Go through one of those at your own pace, knees up or down, plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, back through plank, and back to your downward dog. And you can always leave those out. Today, when we flow through our chaturanga flow, you can always leave it out if you've had enough. Look between your hands, walk to the front. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Shoulders may be feeling it a little bit by now, so just take a breath. Take a moment. You can shrug them out, sway your arms a little bit if you'd like. We're going to go through one more shoulder strengthening and opening flow, and then we'll go to the ground. Arms go high. Forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Pick up the block. Place the block between your palms. Extend your arms out and rise up into your chair pose, this time with the block. Squeeze the block. Tailbone down, sit lower. Rise all the way up. Sway to the right, back through center, and to the left. Pushing on the block, look up and take a back bend. Squeeze your glutes to protect the low back. Contract your quads in front of your thighs. And then sit down in your chair pose again, arms high. Pull the block down to your chest as your elbows come out. Now you're pushing on it. And we're going to do a prayer twist. Take your right elbow to your right knee. It probably won't go all the way across to the left knee with this thick block between it. So just take an easy twist here. Stack your elbows, stack your shoulders. Inhale, come back to center, bring the chest to your block to your heart, and then exhale, left shoulder, left elbow to left knee. Bring that block back to center. Weight in the right foot, step back. Left foot goes back, and we're in our crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up. Look up, sway toward the right, and back to center, and left, and up. Bring your block to your chest. Now lower the back heel to that warrior two position, and take your right elbow to your right knee. Really good. Now we're going to take this block in your right hand and just lower it to the ground. You can put your hand on the block, coming back into this deep extended triangle, twisting up. Now remove the block if your hand's on it. Place your right hand on the ground. We're going to move back into a side plank here by pushing through our right hand, really strong in the right arm. Take the right leg back to plank, side plank. This knee can always be down. Wherever you are, hold your plank, breathe, don't slump into that right shoulder. Now everybody lower that knee, even if it's back in plank. Lift your left leg up high. Take your left arm above your ear, stretch it long, and then reach back for your left ankle or toes. If you can grab them, that's great. Kick back. If you can't grab them, just reach for them and bend your knee. Slowly, with control, you release that foot. Extend your arm long again. Take your left hand down and pivot your knee so it's facing the front of the mat. Left leg is still high. Tuck your right toes, and we're going to push all the way up into a three-legged dog. Roll over your right toes and tap your right heel with your foot in a plank and go back up. Excuse me. So we're going to go through a chaturanga here, and you can either leave that leg above your heel while you do it, or you can put your foot back down, or you can do it on your knees. Coming forward into your plank, knees up or down, bending through chaturanga. Release your foot, up dog or cobra, and go back to your downward dog. Woo, that took a little work. Take an inhale here. Exhale through your mouth. Look between your hands and go to the front of the mat. We got that on one more side, and we'll be done for a while with these props. Hands go high. Lower your legs. Lower your hands forward, fold. This time, grab the block on the narrow width between your palms. Bend your legs deeply. Extend it long in front of you. And rise all the way up. Lean to the right. Push the block if you can still do that. Lean to the left and come back to center. Bend your knees deeply back to your chair pose and pull the block to heart center. Now we're going to do that prayer twist again. This time you may be able to get your arm to opposite knee. Give that a try. Right elbow to left knee, stacking your hands. If it doesn't go, just go back to the right knee or outside of it. Knees are parallel. Really good. Back to center. Left elbow to right knee. If it'll go there. And back to center. Weights in the left foot this time. Step your right leg back and you're in your crescent lunge. Find some balance there and take your arms up high. Focus on one point. Lean to the left, come back to center, and to the right, and back up. Bring it back down to your heart center. Lower the back heel, back foot parallel to the back of the mat, and bend your front knee deeply, elbow to knee. And take the block in your left hand, put it down inside your foot and raise your right arm high. If you'd like, push your pelvis forward just a little bit to the side of the mat. You'll feel a really good opening in your low back. Now move the block, place your left hand down, and we're going to come back into whatever side plank variation you had on the other side. Strengthen the left arm, left leg back, side plank, and breathe. Everybody lower your knee. Lift your right leg high. Extend your right arm long. Reach back for the toe or ankle. Kick into it if you'd like. Now take your right arm long. Right leg stretched out. Lower your right hand. Facing the front of the mat. Tuck your left toe and push up to your three-legged dog. Come forward into plank and tap your heel and back up. And then take 1, 2, or 3 chaturangas in whatever way you'd like. Or just pause and go down to child's pose. And we'll all meet in child's pose after you've had time to do your flows, pushing your heel back, your bottom back towards your heels, and your arms forward. Let your forehead come to the ground. Pause there and take a few breaths. If you've got water handy and you'd like to have a sip, this is a really good place for that. And when you're ready, come to a comfortable seat facing the front of your mat. Have your strap and your block beside the mat so you can get to them. We're going to do a little core work. Let our shoulders rest a little bit while we work on those abs. All right. Take the strap in your hands. Grip it. You can either grip it with palms down or palms up, whatever you'd like to try. We're going to come into a boat pose. Won't be there long. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen your neck. Find balance on your sit bones and then lift your legs up, extending your arms. Your toes can always stay down. You can lose the strap if you don't want it. Find that boat, hold and breathe. Use your core, navel to spine, lengthen your spine. Now very slowly lower down. Take your arms above your head, but leave your shoulders and head up. Feet are up. Low boat, pull the strap, breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower everything down. Take a big inhale as your arms go back. Exhale as your knees come up, soles to the ground, and your palms face upward. Let your knees windshield wiper left and right. Releasing the low back. Now grab your block, put it in the wide length of the block, and hold it up above you. So the flat part is facing you. Lift your feet up and push your heels toward the ceiling. And if you can, touch your toes with the block. You may have to lift your shoulders up. Now lower your right leg and point your toe, hover it above the ground. Lift it, tap the block, and flex your ankle. Lower the left and lift. Right and lift. We're going to do 8 of these. And lift. Using your low core, push your spine into the ground, low spine. And lift. Try to point as you go down and flex as you come up. Try to tap the block as you come up. Now we've got 2 more each side. Last one, left side. Lower your feet. You can lower the block temporarily. Let your knees windshield wiper side to side. Now take the block above you and put it on your feet. We want to find a place where you can push the heels up and balance the block completely on your feet. You may have a micro bend in your knees, or they may be perfectly straight. Flex your ankles. Take your hands behind your head and lace your fingers at the base of your neck. Don't pull on the neck, we're just supporting it. Lift your shoulders up high. Now pulse your feet toward the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the block there. Lower your shoulders, take a breath. One more time, shoulders up. Contract your low belly, push your heels up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, release the block. Set it beside your mat. Take your arms long, big stretch, pointed toes, stretch side to side on the mat. And bring both knees in. Rock side to side. Rock back and forth on your spine. Roll over your feet and come into your tabletop. We've got one more slow flow. without props before we move into our final stretch. Flat back, hands and knees are on the ground. Once again, find those strong shoulders and arms extending from elbow down to wrist, pulling up from elbow to shoulders. Tuck your toes in your turbo dog with knees above the ground, and then slowly push back to your downward dog. See how you feel here now? You're probably a little looser, a little more comfortable in this upside down V. Maybe your heels go a little closer to the ground. They don't ever have to touch. Take a couple of breaths here. Now lift your right leg high. Pull your knee in towards your chest. Come forward and place your right foot between your toes. Between your hands. Right toes between your hands. Lengthen your arms out and come up into your crescent lunge. Take your hands behind you. Push your hands down. Your back leg stretching your shoulders. Lower your back heel. Come into that humble warrior. Shoulder toward knee. Stretch your arms off the base of your spine. And slowly rise back up. Pivot the back heel up again. You're in crescent with your legs. Now we're going to put our weight into the right foot and lean forward, coming into a warrior three. Warrior three with your hands at the base of your spine, balancing on your right leg, left leg is high. Lift your arms off your spine, if that works for you, or push them down, or release them into airplane pose, so your arms are out to the side. Hold and breathe. Find your balance, and don't worry if you wobble in and out. Now bring your hands down to the floor or a block. I'm going to need to find my block because I've got short arms. And come into an L-shaped pose. In L-shaped pose, the top leg is parallel to the floor. Point your big toe down so both hips are rotated down. Hold it here. Now lower your left foot to meet the right. Bend both knees, raise your arms, chair pose. And rise all the way up. Interlace your fingers at the top of your head. Push your palms toward the ceiling. Lean to the right, back through center, and to the left, and up. Lean back, moving the palms across the ceiling. Bend your knees deeply, push your palms in front of you. Fingers are still interlaced. And then come down to your forward fold. Step back to your downward dog. Left leg goes high, three-leg dog. Pull your knee into your chest and step your leg through. Find your balance, reach forward, and come up into your crescent lunge. Interlace your fingers behind your hips. Push down, look up, back bend, lower your heel, move to humble warrior. You've been here before, stir, get a good stretch in your shoulders. And rise back up. Flip your back heel up again. And we're moving into that warrior three on the other side. Come forward with weight in the left foot. Chest down, leg up. Moving into airplane if that feels good to you. Lower your hands down to L-shaped pose. Find balance here. Strong lower leg. Contract the quad in the lower leg. Point your big toe with the right foot down. And lower your foot down. Forward fold. Lift halfway. Fold again. Place your hands down and step back to your downward dog. This is your last chance for Chaturanga push-ups. Yay! You can do as many as you like. Again, we'll meet in child's pose. Forward to plank. Knees up or down. Upward dog or cobra. Back over your toes. Try to find some core in this plank. Maybe hold it a couple of seconds, navel to spine. Pushing through the base of your palms. Go back to your downward dog. And when you're ready, lower your knees and find your child's pose. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Now take your right hand up high, coming onto your left elbow. Then weave that hand underneath your left arm and put weight on the right shoulder. Your left ear is on the ground. If you want a little more stretch in the outside of the right shoulder, you can take the left arm back behind you, reaching for your right hip flexor, palm up, and just pull your shoulder back again, left shoulder back and up. Release the left hand down, take the right arm back up, and take it down. Right elbow is down, left arm is up. Weave the left arm through. Pressure on the left shoulder. Stretching through the outside now. We'll do some shoulder opening here. Slow, easy stretches. If you took that bind on the other side, you can do it here too. Wrapping your right arm around your back. And release, right arm down, left arm up and down. Now move your arms forward, coming into puppy pose. And the only difference is that your bottom is pointed up instead of back towards your heels. Hands are still out, forehead and probably nose are on the ground. Let your armpits lean toward the ground. Opening through your chest. Stretching through the upper and mid-back. And just take tiny sips of air as we go through these slow opening poses. Push through your knees, come forward into Sphinx pose. On Sphinx pose, you're on your elbows. Pushing through your elbows, lift up your chest up. Pull your heart between your arms, shoulders away from ears. Look out in front of you with a long neck and push your feet, tops of the feet into the mat. Slowly lower your chest to the ground and extend your left arm off your mat. We're going to roll over that left shoulder to stretch the front of our shoulder. Your right hand can be on the mat in front of you. Right foot can come behind your hip. Make sure that the pressure is not too much on the front of your shoulder. And if you'd like to, you can reach back for that right foot, like we did earlier in our side plank, and kick into it. Wherever you are, just breathe and relax into the stretch of your shoulder. If you're holding your foot, release it slowly. Take your right hand down, roll back through center. Extend the right arm off the mat, and let's do that on the other side. Stretching through the front of the right shoulder now. Left leg's behind your right hip. And if you found that bend on the other side, go for it here. Take whatever your body needs and leave the rest. And by the way, if you ever feel like I'm just ready to lie down in my Savasana, go for it. You can end your practice whenever it feels best for you. And release that leg. Come back to your hands under shoulders, under belly. Push back into your child's pose. And then swing your legs around to the front. And we're going to find a cow face pose. So your right knee is stacked on top of the left. Feet are out. Don't know why it's called a cow face pose, but maybe you can figure that out. Take your hands down beside you and just gently lean over the front leg. If this is too much for your knee, just straighten this leg. If it's too much for the bottom knee, and you can lean over it like this. Now walk your hands over the bent knee to the right. Walk them back through center, stretch them over to the other side. Come to a seat, put your fingertips behind you, push your shoulders toward the ceiling, chest up, shoulder blades down, look up. Release your knees, weight on your hands, spread your legs wide, and then cross them the other way. Left leg on top of the right knee, finding your cow pose here. And just lean forward gently. Rise up, stretch your fingertips over to the left. You can always have your legs in crisscross. Comfortable seat if that's better for your hips and knees. This is a pretty deep flexion. Now come back through center. Walk to the other side. And back to the front. Slowly rise up. Hands behind you. Take your legs wide. And let's just do a straddle on the mat. Finding flexibility. Lean forward. Only going to your depth. Try to have a flat back first. Reach your fingers out long. You can be up this high. Your legs don't have to be that wide. Your knees can be bent. Whatever you're doing, it works for you. So come to your degree of flexibility and hold. Deep inner thigh stretch. Rise up slowly. Take your right forearm to your shin. Lift your left arm over, stretching toward the right foot. Roll your chest forward, swoop your arms the other way. Left forehand on the left shin and right arm extended over your head. Slowly roll back to the center. Walk your fingers in. Bring your feet together. You're facing the front of the mat in your cobbler's pose. Take your hands long. Push your feet together. Push your knees out. And slowly roll yourself all the way down to the ground. Take your hands back behind you. Grab your opposite elbows with your hands. Shoulders and head are flat on the ground. Take elbows toward the ground, shoulders toward the ground. Just notice if you feel a little more opening there. Maybe your arms go lower after this workout. And yes, yoga can be a workout. I think it was today. We have gentle yoga and other forms, but this was a shoulder and upper body strengthening practice. Push your knees toward the ground, elbows toward the ground. And release. Bring your knees toward the ceiling. Let your knees fall to the left side of the mat. Your arms can be wide off the mat and over your right shoulder. Just simple twist, letting gravity twist the spine. Move your knees back to center. Let them go to the right. Look over your left shoulder. And bring your knees back up. Pull both knees in towards your shoulders. Grab behind your knees. And you can take happy baby if you'd like, where you grab the outside of your feet and pull those knees down towards your armpits. Push your back toward the ground. Lengthening the spine. Feel every one of those vertebrae stretching from your neck down to your tailbone. And you can begin to close your eyes. Release your feet. Let your heels come to the ceiling. Let your arms come beside your body, palms up. And then just slowly lower your legs. Navel to spine, low back pushing toward the ground for support. And when your feet get to the ground, come into Savasana, your final resting pose. If you're on your back, let your shoulder blades be wide on the ground. If you've got any tension or soreness in your low back, you can always bend your knees up or put a block or pillow under your hips. If you liked that butterfly position of the knees, that might be your final rest. Find whatever's comfortable for you. Close your eyes, begin to focus on your breath. Return your attention to the movement of your breath. Let the belly rise. Don't worry about the exhale or contracting your core. Just relax. The exhale will take care of itself. Notice your heart rate begin to slow. Let your breath come back to a normal pace. Feel your shoulders from the back to the top sinking into the ground. As if you're lying on warm sand and it's supporting your back. Feel the sand on each vertebra and on your hips, your thighs, your calves, your heels. Feel the warmth on your hands, the back of your hands, your elbows, your biceps. Let your head be heavy in the ground, sinking into the sand. And let your whole body disengage and relax and sink deeply into the earth. As the back of your body rests and relaxes, imagine your heart opening. Your heart rising as you inhale. Sun on your chest, warming your heart. Shoulder opening. Yoga also
is thought of as heart opening yoga because you expand through your chest, your heart expands open, allowing you to feel and experience the world through your heart. Let your heart shine. Imagine it radiating warmth, gratitude, and love to those around you. Relax, meditate, and enjoy the last few moments of silence and stillness.
And if you're in a position where you can stay in your meditation, I encourage you to do so for as long as you like. Whenever you're ready to come out, begin to wiggle your feet, your hands. Take a little deeper breath, inhale, a little deeper exhale. Sway your head gently side to side. Bring your awareness back to your mat, to the space around you. And roll over to one side and pull your knees into your chest. Pause there and rest there for a couple of breaths. And push yourself up into a comfortable seat. Sit up straight, bring your hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing yoga with me today. Give yourself some thanks for doing wonderful things for your mind and your heart. The teacher and the highest in me honors the teacher and the highest in all of you. Namaste.